Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested here at Comic-Con 2017. Of course, stopping by the Sideshow Collectibles booth where they're revealing their new premium format lines in addition to many other different scale collectibles. Robin, you're here with, this is BB-8. This is BB-8 in premium format?
It is. This is a test model for the lights. So this is what you'll get, and this is the working model, but we do have the painted featured in the cases today.
So something that's really cool is that premium format isn't just a scale, right? Technically, it's like quarter scale, but it's
quarter scale. But we use that as a description for mixed media because of the variety of characters we do, especially the Star Wars line. They have lots of details, lots of textures, lots of different parts and accessories. So sometimes you have to use mixed media in order to be getting as close as possible to what you're seeing on film.
It's not just that polystone casting, you also have clothes, cut and sew, and people are actually sewing.
Metals, cloth, sometimes we use rope, fibers, anything that we can do to recreate the costuming that the filmmakers use, we're going to try and bring that to the collectors.
And while a character like BB-8 doesn't have a face portrait that you're sculpting, you want to put in features, so lights. So tell me about the functionality of this prototype.
Well, we've added the magnets, and the head can be repositioned. So he has magnets similar to what you see BB-8 in the film, and he has touch sensors, so you can touch the lights on and off. So sometimes you get those little tiny screws where you got to unscrew something and hit a switch. You hit the master switch, and then you have hidden touch sensors. So if you want to shut down the lights when you're on display or not on display, your friends walk in, you want to be like a bigwig, you go, hey, look at this, So we try to make it really easy for the collectors, so they don't really have to mess around with their collection once it's up.
Yeah, and they can then pose and display it and light up however they want.
Turn the lights on and off. They can save the batteries if they need to. Here's over here. So BB-8 will feature the lens. He has the eyepieces, and then of course he does have the feature bonus of the hatch, and that's controlled. You can open it up, so you don't have to scratch the hatch. You can use the back of the head, and we do have an extension arm that he comes out with a little lighter.
With the lighter.
Yeah, very similar to the R2.
Thumbs up for BB-8. Awesome. What other Star Wars premium format figures are you guys showing off, revealing at Comic-Con?
Well, we have Rey, obviously going with the BB-8. We do have Captain Phasma we're showing her for the first time, and she features the chrome armor with the weathered on the plating. She also has the fabric cape, and it has wire lines, so the collector can do dynamic poses, they can do resting poses. It really makes the figure look differently depending on how you're posing the fabric elements of the piece.
Well, it's almost like an armature for your cloth parts. The chrome finish is really interesting because you have to find this balance between really shiny reflective chrome and something that also looks a little weathered, and something that's going to also work on this material. It's not true chroming. Can you talk a little about that paint finish?
Well, the paint finish, it is a little bit of the chrome and metal, so it'll be metal. It's not a true chrome, but it's going to have that metal feel and finish. And then we have to use the certain paint techniques that will keep on the metal, so it's always like a slippery slope because you got to figure out which chemical or which paint combinations work. And then depending on what scene you're particularly portraying her as, sometimes she's really shiny, and this particular scene is from the Starkiller base, so she's a little bit weathered, a little bit outside, so the armor's taking a little bit of a beating on that. So I think the artists worked really hard to get the detailing very close to the film.
Awesome. And in addition to Star Wars, you guys also do premium format in other licenses, so let's take a look at those. Robin, from premium format, quarter scale, legendary scale, down to 6th scale. You guys also work with Hot Toys out of Hong Kong.
We do.
They make some amazing, amazing toys. This is an amazing piece. It's the Hulkbuster. People have been waiting for this one for a long time.
They've been waiting for a while, but you can see why. When you see this and you see all the intricate armor plating, and they've made it functional. So it took a long time in production, and at one point, when they initially launched it, you were only going to be getting a torso of the Iron Man suit that fits into the Hulkbuster. And then they said, wait, we're gonna hold back in production, we're gonna delay it a little bit, and we're gonna re-engineer it so the entire figure, if you've purchased that entire figure will fit into the Hulkbuster suit. So, the engineering, it has to be phenomenal for that. So it does take a little time, and they've figured that out, and they've brought it back, and now you have two options to display this piece. So this should be shipping shortly, and we're super excited to deliver it to the collectors because we think that they're going to completely lose their minds. That the box is going to be opened at their house, and you're just going to hear explosions.
I'm losing my mind right now, just seeing all the intricate detail inside, looking into the cockpit of the Hulkbuster. We've come such a long way since Jeff Bridges' head for the Ironmonger fit in there. You can actually fit a whole 6th scale suit into another suit.
And it actually, it functions. So when
articulates, yeah.
Yeah, it articulates at the shoulders and in the pelvis area. So it's like, I was trying to sneak a peek, while they were putting it together. It took, I think I saw about 2 or 3 of their artists over here trying to pose it and put it up for display. But I was trying to peek in. It's like, okay, how did you do that? It's kind of a mystery. It's like the magic behind the scenes. So I think when the place closes, I'm gonna just take a peek to see how that works out. But I think everybody's gonna be quite pleased when they get this piece.
Posing it for display, that's half the fun. Finally, a 1-to-1 scale, life size, well, larger than life really feels like.
For last.
K2SO from Rogue One.
Sometimes you don't know what to say. You walk in, people are seeing a almost 7 foot tall K2SO, and his eyes are lit up, and he has all the detailing from the films. Our guys were working on this. We got some of the preliminary designs as Rogue One was in production. So we've been working on this for a while, and it took a long time to figure out how to do the hollow jointing and how to do the pistons. This character was completely in CGI. So as opposed to the classic films, all those droids were built. This is CGI. So bringing it into the real world was a challenge because of the spindly legs and the larger and heavier torso. So it took us a while to get the balance correct, but we think that we brought it. You go big or you go home. So I think we're surprising fans this weekend with K2SO.
So cool. K2SO life size. Again, the weight is what blows me away because the legs are so thin, and yet he feels super sturdy and imposing.
This was a problem because, again, he was CGI. So when you look at it, you're like, wow, that looks cool. When you start to build it, and when you look at some or talk to some of the droid builders, they go, oh my gosh, how we do that? So the bottom is actual steel. It's metal. It's the only way that you can get the support for the upper torso. So that took us a little while to figure out that engineering. And then if you look, you can see that the joints are actual hollow. They're hollow tunnels. So that doesn't create stability anywhere. So you got to figure out how to do that and still be true to all the detailing of the film. So I think it was a labor of love, and they really brought it. So we're proud of them, and Lucasfilm has been by, and they're super psyched about it. And we're hoping to bring this to collectors as life-size collectible at the end of 2018. So if you're a Rogue One fan and you like the droids, he's the ultimate droid.
And I'm super psyched just to be here to see it in person. I mean, like you said, there were no costumes, no robots on set. So this is the closest I'm going to feel like to being in that film. Thank you so much, Robin, for showing me around the booth.
We'd love to have you by every time you come.
Thanks.